Hi there, it's Kevin with GatheringMagic.com here with match number 1 with the blue-red Ghostfire deck. This is a very keepable hand. We have plenty of action here with the first turn Ghostfire Blade or Wild Slash. We can even keep Wild Slash up because, yeah, I think Ghostfire is the right play though. So we'll go ahead and keep this and see what we're up against. So it's going to be a Cinderglade. Could be any deck, how greedy the mana base is. And we will just start off with the good old Ghostfire. So we'll have a decent strategy against, or hand against the landfall deck. We have the Herald of Kozilek that can block a ton of cards. This looks like it's going to be Temur. Temur's a little bit more problematic because they do put out some big 4/4s flying that we really can't chump block to the best value. And cards like the way we're going to beat this though is going to be to flood the board with cards like Whirler Rogue. So I think we'll just slash off the Rattleclaw Mystic, and then post sideboard we get Disdainful Strokes and a bunch of other cards that are just very good against Temur. They do have access to Surrak Dragonclaw, which is a card that can give us a bit of an issue, but for the most part, I think we're pretty well matched up against Temur. So Prairie Stream, there's 4 of his colors. We'll slash that off as well. I don't want him ramping into. Yeah, I still think we slash it. And next turn, hopefully we draw into another land, and we can just slam the Whirler Rogue. So 2 Rattleclaws out of the way. This is where he could actually chuck out one of his dragons. I bet this is just 4-color dragons. Is usually with the Rattleclaw Mystic build, it's going to be Dragonlord Ojutai Splash is what the deck likes to do because it is a very powerful card in the format at the moment. So again, I'd love to draw into a land just to slam that Whirler Rogue. And it's a Woodland Wanderer. That is actually a card that's very tough for us to deal with. Vigilance Trample. In fact, I don't know if we'd have anything against. Like what I can do, I can make it up to a 4, 5. We could Kozilek and then equip a Ghostfire Blade to it. Or I want to ingest, but I don't think I can ingest. We Whirler Rogue. It doesn't put enough power. I'd rather just have the Kozilek and have a 4/6. Unfortunately, we can't block the Woodland Wanderer. That was a tough card for us to play against. And if you cast the second one, it's going to be a Jace. Okay. So now with the Ruination Guide, we're not quite there either. And Blight Herder actually can block it. I might just Blight Herder for no value and then Ghostfire Blade on the Blight Herder. I'm not quite sure that's the right play. We could cast the guide for 2 and it gives our guy a 5. Just because, yeah, and we don't have any action yet with putting out spawns, so yeah, nothing is. This will just make it so he's got to end. He can't attack in now. Unless he can figure out like a Valorous Stance or something that can kill the Blight Herder. But I think that's my best play. Looks like he's getting a little bit flooded, and Jace doesn't do a lot at the moment. Like he flips it and he can make Blight Herder down by 2. So he's got it's all 4 colors. I want to say I don't think this is a Bring to Light though, because you Bring to Light and Woodland Wanderer. Well, I guess you're using all of your colors though, so Wanderer is just a value-based card. But he needs to find an instant that he can flash back here. And he finds a Draconic Roar. Draconic Roar doesn't do much. and it's a Kiora. So Kiora is going to be rough to try to attack into. Yeah, this is one of those decks that there really isn't a rhyme or reason. They're throwing in good stuff. No synergy to it. These are kind of the decks that I do not like in the metagame at the moment. I don't know if I lose a... No, he'd have to block the... How do we want to do this? Because I want to attack into and make him block the Woodland Wanderer. Like we can actually... Whirler Rogue, we can tap... Yeah, we can actually do this. So I can get Kiora down to... Let's see, it doesn't matter how I... So Whirler Rogue here, and we can tap 2 of them to make it unblockable. And then attack into Jace. And get Jace down to a 4. So I think that's still the right play. And then we can equip the Ghostfire Blade onto the Kozilek next turn. Or we can do that right now and then just block with the Blight Herder. Kozilek, this gives it a 4. Either way, it's a 4. Because we can't re-equip it. And it can't really block. I still think this is fine. So we'll... this is where... Tap 2 and artifacts, target creature can't be blocked. So it can't be blocked. Tap, tap. And I think we need to attack into Jace because we want to keep our Whirler Rogue alive. Rather than Kiora. I'm not quite sure which one is more of the threat at the moment. But this way you can't flash back that Draconic Roar. And now he's got to choose with Jace which one he wants to. If he wants to get in for some damage with the Woodland Wanderer, then he's got to make the Kozilek go down in power. Kiora's going to get a lot of advantage, though. It's going to start drawing. This can actually draw 2 cards. And it does find him 2 cards. Finds him a Savage Knuckleblade. I think you get the Savage Knuckleblade here rather than the Hangarback Walker. Yeah, I agree with that play. And now he can't quite flash back the Jeskai Charm. He has 1 unknown in his hand. So he's going to use Jace to give something plus or -2, -0, which I assume will go on the Kozilek so he can attack him with the Woodland Wanderer. His other play is to Savage Knuckleblade because he can cast Savage Knuckleblade and give it haste but not quite pump. So we're going to let this damage go through and go down to an 8. And here comes his Knuckleblade or his 1 unknown. And his Icefall is going to keep the Blight Herder tapped down, which I think we need his Ghostfire Blade on a Thopter. No, he's got a flyer now. We can play both of these and still have Ghostfire Blade. So here's 1 Ruination Guide. And then another one. And now we can actually tack into both Kiora and Jace, and he has to lose at least one of them. And then still keep back the Whirler Rogues. Or we could tap 2 untapped. No, there's nothing to tap 2 untapped. I think I might just move this Ghostfire Blade over to a... Not quite sure here. We'll attack in to 1 into Jace, 1 into Kiora. And if nothing else, he loses an Icefall Regent. Because this does not have reach. Actually, can I tap the Ghostfire Blade? How does that even work? I guess you can tap an equipment. It doesn't specify. And it won't fall off a creature if you tap it, right? That's an old school Magic rule. I think he trades the Icefall Regent for the one attacking into Kiora and lets Jace die. But then he's got the Jeskai Charm back. They can give him quite a bit of advantage. Okay, so he's going to let Kiora die and Jace live to flash it back. So we have a 4/6. I think we do just move over to the Ruination Guide, or we just keep it on the Kozilek. I think at this point it doesn't matter. So Savage Knuckleblade, 1 unknown, and he can't draw an extra card. He can flashback a Jeskai Charm or a Draconic Roar, and that doesn't stop the Kozilek, though. I still think his best move is just a plus Jace. So Icefall Regent is another card, but that doesn't allow him to, unless he's got a land. No, it's Savage Knuckleblade, unless a land can flashback a Draconic Roar. At this point, I will trade with the Whirler Rogue and the Ruination Guide. Or just with both Ruination Guides. We can't go down to a 6 because you can just flashback. Or down to a 2. But on the backswing, do we just have lethal? I don't think we do. I think I have to make this trade here. He still gets in 2 damage. We'll tap 2 Thopters and kill Jace. And still have a Thopter back to block an Icefall if we need to. Yeah, I hate to do this. I can't be taking this 6 because it's just a So this one doesn't untap now, so that actually allows us to kill Jace. And we'll do it before the Whirler Rogue. So, and leave back flyers. And equip the Ghostfire Blade. Yeah, so tapping an artifact and equipment doesn't do anything. I always wonder if there's some like obscure rule about it, because it used to be back in the day that a tapped artifact lost its. That's why in Howling Mines, when they reprinted it, they specified. Oh, okay. So you just top deck into a Creator Claw. I guess that solves everything. I think we had him next turn if there wasn't a Creator Claw. We'll bring in a lot of Disdainful Strokes against this matchup. I don't think we need necessarily Thopter Spy Network. Exquisite Firecraft can kill a Kiora. I think Exquisite Firecraft might be just better. I don't think we need the Wild Slashes for the Rattleclaw Mystics. I'd rather just bring in like Negates. Even Touch of the Void is weird. And same with Horribly Awry can take care of a few of his cards, but I think the Disdainful Stroke is just better than Horribly Awry. This card's the wild card here. I don't know if it's going to be good. I don't know if it's not going to do anything. I think I'd rather maybe Thopter Spy Networks are decent in this one, just to keep pressure. And I think that Exquisite Firecraft, the redirection to like Jace. Well, yeah, actually he's playing Jace, so Wild Slashes might just be better. I think we'll keep in the Wild Slash or like 2 of them at least. Or I guess Horribly Awry can hit more targets though. We also have a few cards I don't know how well they'll do against. I think that he might be bringing in Radiant Flames, so cards like Eldrazi Skyspawner might be a lot weaker. And then I think we will play at least one Horribly Awry. Touch the Void. Touch the Void actually does hit his Ice Falls. So I think that they're okay to have in here. I think we'll just play a few. 1 Wild Slash, 2 Touch the Voids, a Horribly Awry, and maybe even cut a Thopter Spy Network for the touches hit Rattleclaws too, even though that's sorcery speed. And Horribly Awry, actually, it's Rattleclaw. Ay, we're all over the place. Horribly Awry hits. I still think it's touch. Exquisite hits most of those cards that I talked about. Alright, we're just going to diversify. This is fine. We have Ruination Guides from when we have a token producer. Disdainful Stroke doesn't really hit a Jace, though. There's a Whirler Rogue. This gets a lot better. But we can get the Ruination Guide out and then keep up Disdainful Stroke for later. And we just might be able to out-aggro him. There's another Whirler Rogue, so it will just be a guide. See if it survives. He is playing like cards like Draconic Roar. And yes, we do get hit by the Draconic Roar. Hope a Savage Knuckleblade doesn't come out here. That'd be the worst case scenario, because we can't deal with it at the moment. Ooh, a Mantis Rider. Yeah, talk about good stuff. Just chucking in whatever he wants with the mana base. So we'll Whirler Rogue. And next turn we can Disdainful Stroke and Ruination Guide. Mantis Rider is one of those cards that acts as such a great defender as well as an aggressive attacker. But with the Ruination Guide, we know he's got an Icefall Regent. He can give the Savage Knuckleblade haste here too. I think I have to. This is. I don't know if I can go down. Well, I think I have to take this. We can put the Whirler Rogue on the Savage Knuckleblade. It's unnecessary at the moment just to absorb 4. Yeah, I'm okay with that play. And a Ghostfire Blade would have been nice a lot earlier. I think here we go Ruination Guide and keep up the Disdainful Stroke. Because this allows us to block his Mantis Rider. And he's going to try to Icefall Regent here, and we'll counter it. But yeah, I definitely should have kept in Horribly Awry. Mantis Riders and Knuckleblades are difficult for the deck. And even his Converge card. Maybe went to a way more control route too, and just got rid of like the Skyspawners completely. Gonna Crater's Claw. Crater's Claw on. Yeah, that messes everything up. I think I have to just take this damage. Disdainful Stroke still does come into play here. But down to a 4. We can die to a second Crater's Claw. Another Disdainful Stroke. But unfortunately, we just have to Whirler Rogue here. And I don't even know. It's going to be Ghostfire Blade. And I think I just have to leave everything back. This should get the Icefall region out. Down to 3 cards, we know one of them is an Icefall. A Morph card? That's Rattleclaw, right? Could be Den Protector. He decides not to attack in with either. Okay, I'd actually want to draw a land here. Doesn't help my cause. I think I have to go Whirler Rogue. I don't have a choice this time around. And he's got the Disdainful Stroke. And that should be game then. Because I cannot block enough. He Icefall Regents and then I die. So we needed to draw a land there, not a Whirler Rogue. Well, he's gonna... Oh, he can just go get a Draconic Roar. So either way, we would have lost. And that is game. So I think that I misjudged the deck. I guess Mana Strider is an obvious choice. It's just a 5-color good stuff, 5-color aggro. And the thing is that the deck attacks in so many different angles it's hard to sideboard against. But now, after viewing the deck list with Mana Striders and Rattleclaws, Horribly Awry is going to be the Exquisite Firecraft. Horribly Awry both can be very good in that deck. So we'll go on to another match. This has been Kevin with GatheringMagic.com. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching Playing on a Budget. If you haven't already, please subscribe to Gathering Magic and check out our Playing on a Budget playlist, which contains every episode. Thanks again and hope to see you soon.